For 4 years, my husband's family treated me like I was lucky to be at their dinner table. His mother introduced me as Marcus's little friend, even after we were married. His sister once asked me, in front of everyone, if I'd finally learned to use real silverware. I smiled through all of it because Marcus loved me, and I told myself that was enough. What they didn't know was that before I met Marcus, I'd spent 6 years building a real estate holding company from nothing but a business degree and a stubborn refusal to quit. I never talked about work at family dinners because every time I tried, his mother would change the subject to something more relatable. Everything changed the week his parents got a notice about a rent increase on their apartment. Not just any apartment, the one they'd bragged about for years. The prestigious building downtown they used to remind me they could afford, and I couldn't. Marcus's mother called me in a panic because Marcus mentioned I worked in real estate and maybe I knew someone who could help. I did know someone. I owned the company. I didn't tell her right away. Instead, I offered to look into it as a favor. I pulled the file. I saw everything. Their lease, their late payment history they'd hidden from everyone. Even the passive-aggressive complaint they'd filed against a neighbor 2 years ago. 2 weeks later, I sat across from them at their own dining table, in the same seat where I'd been mocked for years, and I told them the truth. I told them I was the sole owner of Ashford Property Group. I told them I'd been managing their lease renewal personally for the past 2 weeks. The silence in that room was the loudest silence I've ever heard. His mother's face went white. His sister actually dropped her fork, and Marcus just looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time, which honestly he kind of was. I didn't raise their rent out of spite. I didn't evict them either. I simply said, I'll honor your current rate for 1 more year. After that, we'll discuss it like adults, the way you should have discussed things with me from the start. Then I stood up, thanked them for dinner, and left. I didn't do it for revenge. I did it because for 4 years I shrunk myself so they could feel comfortable, and I was done doing that. So tell me, would you have raised the rent, or was staying quiet the real power move?